Yeah, what's up, man? What's up? The Triple B right here. We're doing a preview, yeah, of the Ginger PD cheetah with the oil slick wife cheetah. We here tonight. I'm also going to be doing, huh? By the way, do you like that intro? That music is just incredible. Whenever I hear it, the adrenaline goes up. It's like being back in the day, watching the big fights as a youth. Yeah? Oh, it just lifts me, man. Anyway, how's everybody? How's everybody? We here? How many people we got? 3 people. 3 people. Surely there's got to be better than that, man. Better than 3 people. There's got to be more than 3 people coming online to watch the Triple B show. 10 people. That's what I'm talking about. Pop, pop, bang. Yeah. So, how's everybody going? We're going to go, of course, without further ado. Retro, Big Mike is in the house and he's first. Big up to my man, Big Mike. I got much love for Big Mike, no homo. It's great to see you here, my brother. Railway. Yes, railway and boxing. Let me just adjust my screen. Railway boxing is in the house. Hi, Chibi. Hi, bro. What's up, bro? Great to see you. Yes, Acoustics here to remind everybody to like, to share, to comment, to donate. You know it, you can it, you can it, you can it. Yeah, you can it, as Scottish people say. You know this shit. Also, hype. There's this new button. When you hit the hype button, it bigs up the channel because I'm so outrageously shadow banned by these disgusting haters. I'm relying on the funds. Best channel in the game. Thank you, brother. Great to see you here, Acoustics. Love a railway. Yeah, brother. Well done, bro. How's your car going? Because my boy, Acoustics, right, has won a big, I hope it's okay to say, brother, but you won a case and he bought a nice car. So it's great to see you there. Yeah. Canelo, easy cash. I agree. I think Canelo on points. Some people have talked about a draw. A draw might be. It wouldn't surprise me. Like I said, I think what will happen in my preview, if you watch my preview, what's going to happen? Where's my thing, man? Where's my lighter? I think what will happen is it will be good to points, no doubt. Okay, and it's going to be like. Close enough for them to order a rematch and everybody get paid again. How the heck did I just lose my... Oh, yeah, a minute ago. What on earth is going on? Fuck it. I'll find it in a minute. Smoking's bad for you, allegedly. Yeah, Ken, the script, eh? Round 2 KO? No. I don't believe that, bro. I think points. I feel it ends in a draw. Yeah, you said that. And that's a very good point. I think you are probably going to be right. How can I lose my bloody light? It's in the cuck sofa. This is not a cuck sofa, by the way. I'm not into that sick stuff. Okay? Easiest dough ever made. Round 2 curtains. I mean, nothing would surprise me in boxing. I find that unlikely, but round 2 or 3. I mean, that's an interesting call, and I've never heard anyone else call it that. If you're right, well done. Face looking magnificent today. Thank you, Don Peludo. I forgot some stuff. I've got to change some settings, man. So I've got to keep some haters away. And in order to keep the haters away, I've got to put people on, what's it called? Only subscribers can talk, because otherwise you get idiots like, what's that idiot called? Max Jenkins, trying to talk shit and ruining the chat, and fools like that, and idiots like that. Yeah? So, I'm going to just, if you don't mind, I'm just going to alter my settings. So yeah, what's been going on, man? I mean, I assume. Oh, is everyone going to actually stay up and watch this shit? Yeah. I just, unless you are in the right time zone, why would you stay up and watch Canelo Crawford? It's not going to be interesting, bro. It's not going to be interesting. Yeah, it's not going to be interesting. It's going to be. I think it's going to be. Both of them are going to be very careful. Yeah. Okay. I should have done this before. I apologize for not doing it before, but I need to change my settings because of the haters. Because of the haters. Shit. I can't even know if I could be fucking ass, blood. Whatever, man. I'll let everyone talk. I want the crayfish to win. Why is that, bro? I mean, I put an accumulator for it to go the distance, and that's all I want, really. I'm not going to watch it. I'm going to do it live tomorrow for Lewis Crocker, the Irish super fight. Lewis Crocker, Paddy Donovan. I can't see anything else happen, though, except Paddy, doing the same things he did the first time. I think, he was so dominant. I just can't see anything else happen. You know what I'm saying? I can't see anything else happen. B, what's up, my N word? Yeah, you can't use that word. I can because I have enough 10% of African blood, so I'm allowed. But yeah, haters gonna hate. That's right. Oh, you hate cheats, acoustics. Okay. I mean, come on, bro. You got to be honest. They're all on it. It's just Canelo got caught. And it's usually quite rare. I mean, what, you think Gay J has never done PEDs? Huh? Have you maybe been talking to Ottawali? You say, he's never failed a test. Of course, Joshua's never done PEDs. Come on, bro. Prince D is in the house. What's up, Prince D? How are you, my brother? It's great to see you here, my man. Great to see you here, as always. I went for an early one. I'm going to do a couple of hours. I'm going to do Paddy Donovan vs. Lewis Crocker live tomorrow. And I'm going to do the undercard, I think, for Canelo vs. Crawfish, right? The undercard. So I'm going to do Disco Franklin, to me, the most interesting fight. Callum Walsh, Fernando Vargas Jr. That's a super interesting fight, right? Me glasses are all fucking. I should have prepared better, man. I have Paddy winning. Maybe a late stoppage on points. Do even though he dominated the first time and clearly stopped Crocker, rematches, people go, oh, they're usually the same as the first match. No, they're not. All the Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury fights were very different. The Andy Ruiz, Joshua fights were very different. I mean, it's just nonsense, right? Leon Spinks, Muhammad Ali fight was very different. So, people talk bullshit, man. Of course, like fights like George Foreman, Joe Frazier end up the same way, but that's not surprising. But Lewis Crocker might be a bit more careful this time, right? And he might know, right? I can't take the same risks I did in the first fight. God bless all my brothers. I think 90% of boxers are on something for sure, and if they're not, they should be. Because otherwise, it's an uneven, it's an uneven battle. You remember, like Linford Christie, I think he was either on the wrong PEDs or he was completely straight, and then suddenly became better in his 30s. No sprinter becomes better in his 30s, and he failed a test as well. So did Carl Lewis. So did Ben Johnson. Carl Lewis is apparently the clean guy, but he failed a test. With Shane Bolt, you don't think he's juicing his ass off? Come on, man. PD, do you think Yardo will beat Benavidez if Tunde shouts, "Lions in the camp, enough from the corner"? I think it'll make a massive difference. If I was in a fight, right, and some bum who knew nothing about boxing, well, he knows a bit about boxing, Tunde. He actually was a pro and stuff, but, a guy who who thinks he's, you know, some kind of psychologist, and was yelling, "Lions in the camp." I suddenly feel the adrenaline rise. I'm like, yeah, now I'm going to win. Now I'm going to win. Yeah, totally agree, man. I'd rather win fairly. Well, unfortunately, I wish it morally. Yeah, I wish it was that way, but it ain't, man. There'll be a rematch clause anyway, right? So we'll get 3 fights. I just hope Crawford smashes Canelo, but it's a long shot. It's funny. A lot of people have been saying that. I mean, there's a bit of a grift with Canelo, but I do think he's a good fighter. He's 3 years younger than Crawfish, but Crawfish hasn't been active. He's only had 1 fight in 5 years every year. Now, that could mean 2 things. That could benefit him because he's not shot-worn, or it could mean, you know, he's a little rusty. Madrimov gave him a hard time, and he's moving up in weight. I mean, I don't know, man. I didn't watch the weigh-in. Has the weigh-in happened? That would be interesting, right? Did you see the statement PC Gully put out about Coogan Chubby? So there's a big chat. I don't really follow this, you know, the other channels. I decided to leave that game. It's pointless, right? But so there's a big chat, and it's quite obvious by the data that BK and Boxing King Media bought a bunch of views and subscribers, etc., etc. Now, Coogan accused him of this. There was some suspicion that Coogan's done it as well, by the way. So it's only fair to mention that. But I haven't seen what statement he made, but he checked me up once. Yeah, the copper. He denied being a copper, and then checked me up with copper business. So, and someone did I've taken a snapshot of it, right? Someone did a really good investigation, and they looked at the data, and you get Boxing King Monthly. It's like this, it rises slightly, then suddenly, boom! There's this massive spike of subscribers, like within a couple of weeks, and suddenly, boom! Instead of being, you know, 10,000, then 50,000, it's suddenly 700,000. He's definitely bought something. What does he say? Can someone tell me? Crawford doesn't smoke or drink or do drugs. He lives a life always in the gym. When it's not a fight, Canelo enjoys a drink. Well, he's allowed to drink. I mean, why? You know, I think it's fine for Canelo to have a drink, to get his drink on. We all do. But Crawfish, he might not be a drinker and a drug taker, but he cheats on his wife. I think he's had 2 kids outside of his marriage with his wife, right? There's a video of him admitting it. So, you know, he's hardly, I think cheating on your wife, especially when you're a Christian, is not reasonable. So, you know, none of these guys are perfect. Evander Holyfield, the alleged born-again Christian, needs to cheat on his wife all the time, man. The referee for Canelo vs. Crawford is Thomas Taylor, and both boxers have weighed in half a pound under the 168 limit. Interesting. I'd quite like to see, actually, to kind of see what I'd quite like to see what they look like. Let's have a look, man. How do they look at the weigh-in? Because I was slightly worried that Crawfish might, you know, in that weird wedding photo type scenario, yeah, he looked a little bit okay, right, hang on. I'm going to change things so only subscribers can talk, because they should be able, you know, I don't want fat idiots like Max Jenkins coming on the show, right? Slow mode. We'll give it 10 seconds slow mode. Okay. Now, sorry, man. I'm usually not disorganized. The referee is Thomas Taylor. I don't know anything about him. Both boxers have weighed in half a pound under the limit. I want to have a look, see what it looks like, right? Canelo. I mean, obviously Crawford was going to get, you know, weight. It's not like the old days when, you know, people didn't know about IV drips, PEDs, you know, this kind of thing. Now people know how to do the weight. There's so much you can do. There are fighters in the UFC and boxing that have won fights purely because, right? they know how to do the weight properly. And by that, I mean weight cut properly, right? So let me just see what they look like. I use Duck and Go, but the thing is, with Duck and Go, they're not that up to date. Why? Because, you know, they haven't got the money. Okay, they both look in super shape. Absolutely massive. Yeah, absolutely massive. What's it called? Look at that. Absolutely huge, ripped bodies with massive six packs. Canelo, I reckon, I don't know if they've got a weight clause. I reckon he'll weigh in on the day 10, 12 pounds more, though. That's what I reckon. That's what I reckon. Prince D, have you seen the clickbait for the leaked scorecards for Canelo Crawford? No, man. What do they say, man? Fill me in. Fill me in. I wouldn't be surprised if Crawford is part-time nitty. He's only boxed 5 times in the last 5 years. Yeah, I mean, that is weird. For a big-time boxer to box so few times, right? When every time he fights, he'd be making like 30 million. But I don't know about being a nitty. Crawfish ends Canelo. Big up, Triple B. Thank you, brother. DOP. What's up, brother? You down with DOP? Yeah, you know me. Big up, Maloney. Hope you well, brother. Always good to see Maloney. Both Maloneys. I call them brothers. They ain't really, but they're, you know, they're my boys. Right. You have to look at BKM's views to subscribers ratio to see his bought subscribers. As I said, I've actually got, and I've seen a meme, if you like, saying that, you know, over 1 million subscribers, yet loads of his videos get under 10K views. Some don't even get 1K. Yeah. He's definitely bought them. And that will get him banned. That will get him banned. Now, YouTube love to ban small channels. They don't like to ban big channels, but eventually, like what is that? Why bitch? You know, I said he bought an old channel. I proved it. He's bought subscribers and views, and he got banned, and he had to start a new channel. But will that happen to BKM when he's risking it? What would you estimate Max Jenkins' IQ to be? Oh, 45. I think about 45. He's no, probably a bit more, because he manages to be able to post online and try and give me threats. Even it was so funny, man. He kept on denying it was him. I said, listen, Sonny Edward, he used a fake email address and a fake name, right, and contacted the Triple B, right, and then what happened? Well, I gave him a burner phone number, and he gave it to Sonny, and Sonny gave Chubby a call, and Sonny's very lucky I haven't put it online. Yeah. You're doing no videos tonight. You're not doing no videos tonight. But it's the rest that could have destroyed his career and his reputation. And I've still got it. He knows it. And then he admitted. I've got him on video going, I knew it was anyway. He goes, yeah. Max Jenkins gave me the number, the burner number that no one else in the world had. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, Max Jenkins' IQ is very low, and he still denies it. And he's threatened me. He's threatened to kill me. He's threatened to burn my house down. He's threatened to glass me in the face, you know. And also, he's running away. He's run away to Malta originally because he burnt down his gym, because he owed 80 grand and it wasn't making no money. And he knows he's been investigated, so he ran off to Malta. And now he's run off to Thailand, where he's had a crash. I've sent it on Insta. Well done, bro. I'll have a look. Thank you, Prince D. I agree on Ivan beating Franklin. No brainer. No. Okay, odds. Yeah. When it said about evens 1.91, I was like, jump on Ditchco. But I left it a day, and then it dropped to 1.85. But I still put money, just a tenner on Ditchco. Will you release Edwards' tape ever? I forgave. Even though, you know, he tried to dox and he thought it was great, and he got on his iOS. You remember that? When he got on the live and started going, yeah, check my Twitter. And it was a fake, a fake burner phone with a fake answer phone. And I said to him, I texted him, I said, listen, man, you don't know what trouble you're in, bro. I've got you saying all this stuff. I've recorded you. You're going to fight in a week. You're going to fight in a week. And I've got you slagging off mentally ill people, depressed people, child abuse victims, Batty-mans. Again, I don't care about the Batty-man business. And he suddenly became my friend. He gave me 80 quid. So I let him off, man. And he came on the show. And at least he had the guts to came on the show. So no, I don't. I'm good enough not to release it. Yeah, I'm good enough not to release it. But he knows I got him by the nuts. In fact, Sonny, if you're listening, you can come on the show again. Tell me about the BAM fight, how it ruined you. Tell about he's got some fighters, right? He's got Dazod, he's got fighters like what's his name? Giorgio Visioli, who I like a lot. So he's been backed heavily, Ivan, and I knew it. As soon as I saw the odds, I said jump on it, but I was a bit lazy. The only worry is, like in my preview, he's only had, 14 fights in like 8 years or 15 fights in 8 years. And I don't know why, but he's been mismanaged, mispromoted. He should have been up there 5 years ago fighting in contention for the world title. He's beaten Bakudir Jalolov at least 4 times. Look at my video on it. The Edwards tape is hotter than the Epstein client list. Yeah, I exposed Barry Hearn. I was the first channel to expose Barry Hearn because I found an unredacted Epstein list. And I went on it and I found Barry Hearn. I was like, whoa. I released a video on the old channel before I got fucking nuked. Right? So I exposed him. So I could expose Sonny. People don't realize like my detective capabilities are fucking good. Paddy Donovan has been back hugely. I'm not surprised. I mean, it's quite a weird one. They're fighting for a world title after a very one-sided fight. Yes, Paddy was a bit liberal with his head, but Crocker was like pushing his head right in his face like this, right? Also, and I think it's fair. It was an unfair disqualification because, he whacked him after the bell, but it's obviously he couldn't hear the bell. And if you're the ref, when you hear the clacker for the 10 seconds, and I can't even remember there was a clacker, you get ready to jump in and break them up, especially when one fighter just dropped another fighter. You got to be ready to stop them, and he didn't. So I'm on Donovan's side. Donovan definitely should have been given the win. He should not have been disqualified, but it doesn't matter because now he's got the chance for a world title to get it back. But I just can't see anything else but Donovan winning back here. Crocker, you would assume would have learned something, but what's he going to learn? I'm not good enough. What's he going to learn? I'm not good enough. So, yeah, it's possible that Crocker will be more careful and less reckless. But so actually Donovan on points is a possibility. But I think Paddy is a level above Crocker and we'll stop him. It worked out well for both. That's right, Maloney. Absolutely. Obviously, Paddy was very upset at the time. Crocker was probably like confused, going, what? I'm the winner after being sparked? But ultimately, it worked out well. They got a world title fight. Apparently, it's the first all-Irish world title fight. I was a bit surprised by that. I mean, there have been plenty of Irish Americans and Brits of Irish descent who probably have boxed for the world title. But this is the first all-Irish world title fight. Of course, I don't want to get into this because political stuff is when it comes to Ireland, it's not something I want to get in with. I love the Irish people, but some would say, well, Crocker's from Northern Ireland and he's a proddy and Paddy's from the Republic and he's Catholic. I'm not getting into that. I'm not getting into that at all. The point is, right? Do I look a bit funny? Where's my camera? My camera might need a bit of a clean. Usually I'm better prepared. Yes, am I dead yet? Hi, Chubino. Yes, brother. Pop, 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 pop. Bang! What's up, bro? Oh, sorry, I didn't put it on. Yeah, hi, Chubino. Hello, as usual, brother. Great to see you. Railway, could we ever see Canelo fight in the UK? Oof. I mean, a lot of their big fighters who are US based. I mean, I know Canelo's American, but he's US based. Let's be clear, right? Get such big paydays. Why would they want to leave? I mean, they'd have to. Turkey would have to provide the money. Riyadh Season would have to provide the money, and it'd have to be against a big name. So, who's a big name around Canelo's weight from the UK? Blue Collar Sports TV. Sup, Chubby? Great to see you. Make sure you follow Blue Collar Sports TV. He's got a great channel. Check him out. Sup, Chubby? It's great to see you here, my brother. How are you? God bless you. Michael laughing his ass off. Canelo did say he wanted to fight in the UK before he retires. Yeah, people say all kinds of shit, man, don't they? People say all kinds of shit. John Fury said he'd fight anybody, and he's got 100 wins with 100 KOs on the hard road. But you all know that's bullshit. So, but who would he fight? That's an interesting question. Who would he fight? Maloney makes a good point. Canelo v. Shiraz in the UK? Yeah, actually, that's a possibility. That's probably the best one I can think of. Shiraz is a ticket seller. He's been pushed by fish eyes. Yeah. What happened with the camera? You pull a bird with a spoon. Yeah, I'm not going to Wetherspoons for a bit. I had another terrible experience. Well, it wasn't one experience. It's just a long-term experience. It sucks your soul away. But I'm going to do another video about my Wetherspoons experience, my latest one. But yeah, like you said, Canelo v. Shiraz, that's a possibility. Pala's a traveler gypsy. He's all right. Yeah, I mean, listen. The whole traveler question is a big question. I'm not going to get into it. I've known and been friends with plenty of travelers. Some have been nice. Some of them haven't liked. Gorgeous, whatever, man. But I know. Listen, I know some real nice travelers. Obviously, and I almost I'm envious of this, but their community is very tight, and they look after each other. You can't fight one traveler; you got to fight them all. But I respect them. They keep their community tight. They're Christians, and they look after them their own. So I'm not dissing that, bro. Canelo v. Shiraz in the O2 Arena, yeah. I don't think the O2 Arena is big enough. It'd have to be a Wembley fight. It would have to be a Wembley fight. Imagine Canelo, the biggest name in boxing for the last, 10 years? Just about. Yeah. The O2 Arena is not big enough. These Shiraz, a ticket seller. Imagine how many, Brits and Pakistani Brits are going to show up for that fight. Come on, man. That's a Wembley fight. Everybody knows it's a Wembley fight. Remember, just to remind everyone, you can donate if you enjoy the show. There's super checks, super stickers, right? Also, you can Bitcoin, Litecoin, and buy me a coffee. I need people to buy me a coffee because I've got £5 in buy me a coffee, and it's not enough to withdraw. So yeah. So if you want to show some love, show some love. Where's Shane Bongos, man? I wonder if he's with Kirsty again, making a sandwich. Thoughts on Saunders getting done for hair coursing? Yeah, there's a lot of stick for Saunders online. Oh, he's a piece of shit, and he's just that. Now, I'm an animal lover, but I don't, I eat meat, so I'm a bit of a hypocrite. If I, as long as the hairs are getting cooked and eaten, I've got no problem with it. There are various laws. Maybe he broke some laws. I don't care. The law's an ass. And I actually have to be honest. I really like the way he dealt with the popo. He dealt with the popo. He wasn't taking any shit from the popo, was he? So that was quite funny. Billy Saunders got a bad reputation, but he's quite based as well. He's quite based. So I'm not hating on Billy Joe at all. Yeah. What's the hair coursing in Snatch? What do you mean he's fucked? You mean like proper fucked? Proper fucked. Brad Pitt. Actually, that's true. They should sell out Wembley Stadium. Definitely would sell out Wembley. No doubt. Imagine, right? It's, even the casuals will get drawn in by Canelo fighting in the UK. If Gay J and Dubon and people like that and Usyk can sell out, then Canelo's going to sell out, especially against Shiraz, man. Canelo to come up in weight and fight someone like Buatsi in the UK? No, not Buatsi. Buatsi is not a name, man. And why? Isn't he coming off a couple of losses or one loss? Didn't he lose to? He beat. Okay, I've always had. I prefer to be right in what I say. So he beat Willie Hutchinson, right? Didn't he? Buatsi, but he lost to. I remember winning money on this. Let me have a look on BoxRec. But not Buatsi. Come on, man. It's got to be a much bigger name. Buatsi doesn't sell many tickets. He's coming off a loss to Callum Smith. Callum Smith, and I put money on that on Smith to win. And Callum Smith, I've always thought was the best Smith brother. You could say Liam, but I think Callum is the most talented. He's fighting Zach Parker next. That's a good fight. That's a great fight. But yeah, I can't. No, not Buatsi Canelo, man. It had to be Canelo Shiraz. If anybody else can think of any fighter around light heavyweight, super middle from the UK that's sellable, apart from Shiraz, more sellable than Shiraz, then please tell me, man. Remember Saunders got that woman to hit that old bloke? Yeah, I obviously I don't agree with that. Some people say we can all make mistakes, we can all do this, that, and the other. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that was great. And he got his son to punch, who was it? That fighter? The Worm Monroe's son, Willie Monroe Jr. in the nuts. That wasn't that nice. But, you know, I mean, I wouldn't like to upset Billy Joe. You know, he's got links and he's a tough guy. Most people say he's not a nice guy. I don't know him personally. I can't say. Maloney, I got arrested weeks back. I abused the police bad. Oh, big up to Maloney. A £600 fine. Well, you went. I assume you went to magistrates, right? Did you defend yourself, bro? You can't take it from the Popo, Masonic secret society bullies. Okay, they're pieces of shit. So I'm sorry, that's the reality. Look at how many of them get busted for noncery, for abusing the law, for lying. If you've ever, meanwhile, they'll nick people. People do 20, 30 months for writing a tweet. People have committed suicide in prison just for writing a tweet. So, you know, these are the people. And also, they get 6 weeks training on the law. If you're a lawyer, you've got to do at least, 2 years, 3 years? I think it's more than that to qualify as a lawyer. You've got to know the law. But the police don't. And they'll say to you, oh, also, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. But sometimes they let you off because you don't know the law if you're a foreigner. It's a joke. They're stormtroopers for the elite. I'm talking about Canelo, Hamza, Shiraz. Who actually wins between them two? Canelo. I mean, Shiraz looked real good against Berlanga. You have to give him that. He looked real good, but previously he hadn't looked that good. He looked terrible vis-a-vis Dalmes. I got robbed of a lot of money. I was very bitter. I mean, that's boxing. So I wasn't, I had to get over it. But I was annoyed. I lost like £150, deservedly, betting on a Dalmes to win. And it was ripped off. So, Shiraz is probably better. What is he at? Super middleweight? He's probably better at that weight, no doubt. Who wins between them? It's got to be Canelo. It's got to be Canelo. I just think Shiraz is a decent operator. But his only chance is for Canelo to get old. And maybe a dodgy decision. Just a name for Canelo to fight a British fighter. I told you, Shiraz. Hamza Shiraz, definitely number one. On the Saunders video on how to deal with your wife, that was pretty funny. Yeah, I did a video on that. I don't condone hitting women. It was obviously a joke. It was meant to be taken in jest, as you say. He's like, you got, if she's talking too much, you hit her to the body or whatever, and, she'll shut up. It's obviously a jest. I mean, I can't believe that. Everybody knows it was a jest. Blue Collar. Yeah, what up? Remember to follow Blue Collar Sports TV. He's my man's. Casuals would eat up a mismatch. Canelo vs Eubank. That's actually a good one. Yeah, if Eubank beats Conor Bum, then definitely they would eat that up, man. And unfortunately, it's the casuals that make the big fights because they're the ones that will fill Wembley. They're the ones that will buy the pay-per-views. So yeah, As Tony says, FTP. That's right, bro. Anthony Yard. Oh, Anthony Yard vs Canelo. So Yard is fighting Benavidez. If he beats Benavidez, absolutely, 100%. And I actually quite like Anthony Yard. I don't like Tunde. I think he's a bum. He can't. He's a bullshitter. You know, he's a piece of shit. He's always talking in people's ears and that. But Anthony Yard, to be fair to him, when he fights, he gives it his all. He gives it his all against Beterbiev, against Kovalev, and he almost beat Kovalev. So you know, actually Yard vs Canelo, but Yard has to come through Benavidez, and that's a big problem, right? It's an interesting matchup. Which one are you talking about? Am I dead yet? Well, yeah. I mean, all the ones you mentioned have been pretty good. Yeah, you get a tick there. Saunders is probably a piece of shit in reality. He can be quite funny with it, though. Yeah, I mean, no, I'm pretty sure that, like, Saunders is the kind of guy, right, who, if you bump into by mistake and you apologize, he'd turn around and start on you in the pub, you know? I'm pretty sure he's a bit of a bully and he's aggressive. And people have a go at him, like, because he pulled out against Canelo after saying he would rather die than pull out. I mean, that was his cheat was a mess. That was a horrible shot. I thought he was edging that fight against Canelo, to be honest with you. I thought he was edging that fight. So he's a good fighter. I think he's finished with boxing. He's about 15, 16 stone, isn't he? And he's made a lot of money, not just from boxing. He's got business interests. So yeah, I don't think we're gonna see Saunders in again. Wouldn't surprise me if Canelo gave away the box again, huge money. Oh, please no, don't, please no. Canelo will stop you back within 6 rounds. He's very patient, Canelo, now. I miss the early Canelo, you know, these Eric Kirkland and Amir Khan and people like that, but he used to iron them out. But he knows now to play the game and be very careful and to go the distance. So if Yard didn't have Tunde, he could have been champion. I don't know. I mean, he's made a lot of money. He was very close to beating Kovalev. I mean, obviously Kovalev was alcoholic and chinny by then, but Kovalev's one of my favorite fighters and brutal puncher. Yeah, empty the tank. What a bum Tunde is. Billy Joe sort of a piece of shit. But the video he did about wife beating was probably the most offensive things he's done. The least offensive things he's done. Sorry, the least offensive. Yeah, I totally agree, man. You know, getting that crackhead to hit that man and a bunch of other stuff. Hasn't he bragged about smashing someone's wife? Huh? Yeah, he's on the YouTube bragging about smashing someone's wife. I mean, yeah, I'm not the problem with Billy Joe, so I'm not a hater, but I understand he's got a very dark side, but also he is quite based, so, and he does his own thing, so I respect that part. R.I.P. Charlie Kirk, and F all of them people celebrating his death with such cruelty. The video his daughter went viral was very sweet. Okay, all I would say is this. I've seen a slow motion of that alleged shooting, and it's very suspicious. There's a ring which changes place. When you slow it down, it looks very AI, and the ring literally flies from here to here. No, sorry, it starts off here on his 3rd finger, and then it flies to his 4th finger, halfway through the alleged shooting. So I don't trust anything these days, but of course, people celebrating his alleged death is wrong. Did Saunders ever fight after Canelo? No, I don't think he has. No. Yeah. Prince D. Boots Ennis needs more exposure, serious talent. Yeah, the problem with Boots is he doesn't talk enough. And unfortunately, it's like Jai Opataya, who everyone knows is one of my favorite fighters. You know, to me, he's what I want to watch in boxing. Violence, footwork, technique, speed, accuracy, power. You know, if I wanted to fight like anybody, it'd be like Opataya. Now, but because he doesn't talk enough, he's not getting the big paydays. You know, he should be fighting Zurdo Ramirez, but Ramirez will duck him. So it's the same thing with Ennis. Ennis doesn't brag enough, talk enough, put himself in the pay, and I respect that. And actually, Crawford didn't either. So you can still make it big without doing too much bragging. but you definitely have to play that stupid social media game. Maloney says, yeah, I rate Boots big time. Yeah, I mean, I definitely rate him. He doesn't especially interest me, but he's very talented. Also, what weight is he at in this now? What is he, a welterweight or light middle? I'm sure I've seen a video a few years ago with some travelers who were accusing BJS of stabbing a kid in the hand or arm or something. I don't think anything ever came of it. I vaguely remember that. Yeah, I do remember that. The thing is, the traveler community don't really, they look after their own problems. They don't tend to run to the police. So, that's probably why nothing happened of it. And I imagine Billy Joel's a very powerful guy in his community. Opataya destroyed Simon Jordan in a recent interview. Oh, that interview was great, man. He kept on swearing his ass off because Jordan, who doesn't really know boxing, obviously has never boxed. And you see Opataya just didn't respect him. He kept on, fact this, fact that, fact this. He goes, excuse me, you're on the live, Jai. Can you not swear? And he just carried on. It was great, man. It made me like him more, man. Oh. Boots is light middle. Yeah, right. That's right. Boots is now super welter. Yeah, I prefer the term light middle. Yeah, the kid was a great boxing prospect. Apparently, the kid's dad did a live about the kid's hand. Oh, I mean, I vaguely remember that. And like I said, I don't think anything will happen from it. I don't remember the details. Right. I haven't got my juju stick. Shane Bongos. We need some super shekels. We need some buy me a coffee. We need some Litecoin, some Bitcoin. Because this show is a funds show, right? It's for the funds. And it's supported by the funds. Blue collar, great still to see that. I think Ennis will struggle once he loses the size advantage. Great point. He has been hit a fair bit by smaller, lesser fighters. Solid talent, though. Yeah, do you know what? I have to be clear. I hadn't followed him that close because I'm like, ugh. Also, I don't like, them American fighters, them, the old hood rat fighters, them hood rich fighters. Hood rich, right? You know that brand. Does it make you cringe when you see youths walk around wearing hood rich clothes? But the weirdest thing was this. I was in a supermarket the other day, no joke, right? And I seen a Chinese guy with long hair, all grey, long grey hair. And he was, I don't know, he must have been 50, maybe 60. Yeah. And he was dressed head to toe in hood rich. And I was like, damn, I just didn't expect that, bro. But, I mean, yeah, I hate that hood rich. But I don't like that hood rat, hood rich kind of scumbags like, all those American ghetto fighters. They all copy like Gay Weather and all that. And it's just boring. Especially a guy like Gay Weather who's a boring fighter. How can he, and he's a midget, Yeah, junior middle. When I first started to get into boxing, I was like, what does junior middle mean? What is, they even used to call cruiserweight junior heavyweight. I thought, well, maybe that's a class for novices or under a certain age. I didn't even understand when I was a youth. I was like, what is junior middleweight? What does that mean? It's light middleweight and that's it, right? You know what I'm saying? Light middleweight, not super welterweight, not junior middleweight. Did Fury fall out with Saunders after you helped him? After you never helped him when he was fighting with those security guys at a fight? Yep. So, yeah, Billy Joe Saunders I think it was at the Canelo fight, his father and the security started bullying his dad and pushing him around. And, and Tyson Fury just sat there in his Versace shirt, did nothing. And he should have, they're mates and they're from the same community. So I think Billy Joe Saunders was rightfully a bit upset that he didn't come and help his dad. Shit. I've lost my lighter again. Here you go. I don't even really smoke. I just smoke with the lives. Smoking is not good for you, allegedly. Apparently, though, most of the problems with smoking are from the chemicals they put in it. There's like 40 chemicals they put in a cigarette. If you smoke pure cigarettes, it doesn't affect you. It's like weed. If you smoke pure weed, it doesn't cause your lungs to have cancer, apparently. Yeah, that's right, big mate. Oh, sorry. Yeah, his dad got bashed up while Tyson and Tommy just sat there. All the other non-famous travellers lads waited. Yeah. And Tyson should have waited, at least to pull the guys off. He doesn't have to whack him, because then he could be in trouble. He might not be able to fight him. He didn't have to whack him, but he could pull them off, throw them on the floor. Yeah, I agree. Oh, okay, let's start. Spencer Oliver must be jabbed the way he follows the narratives of fights. Spencer Oliver was never that good a fighter. He was a bit overrated. Yeah, he got an injury and he came back from it. Well done to him. He was a decent fighter, Michael. I don't think he was a hell of a fighter. He got stopped by the Ukrainian dude, didn't he? But yeah, I mean, he knows what backs to rub and what narrative to roll out. You know what I'm saying? Do you think there should be a weight class between light heavyweight and cruiserweight because it's jumped from light heavyweight to cruiserweight? No, I think we've got enough weight classes, and people know how to put on weight in a safe way. Like what's his name? Sugar Ray Robinson, right? Everyone goes, oh, he's the best of all time, and even though they've never watched him, most of them. You know, the best of all time is subjective and it's meaningless, and the best of all time has to be a heavyweight. It has to be a heavyweight, because if you take away weight divisions, the top dog is always going to be a heavyweight. Dave Allen would roll through most world champions at the lower weights, all of them. The only ones he would have trouble with would be ones moving up from heavyweight, let's say, from light heavyweight or cruiserweight, right? And that's not to say that he's a bad guy, Allen, but he's not, a superstar. But let's look at. So Ray Robinson moved up to light heavyweight, didn't he? And he got stopped, I think, by Joey Maxim. Let me just check. Oh, I've got the wrong Ray Robinson. This Ray Robinson had 0 fights. See Sugar Ray Robinson. There's quite a few Ray Robinsons. There's a new Ray Robinson. There's Ray Robinson. But apparently you got to put in Sugar Ray Robinson. So let's try that. Sugar Ray. But I think it was Joey Maxim or Willie Pastrana. One of those two guys. He moved up to light heavyweight and got a beat down. I think he might be winning on points, but basically there's loads of Sugar Ray Robinsons too. Fuck that shit. Who beat Sugar Ray Robinson? Was it Joey Maxim or Willie Pastrana? Whatever. But they didn't know how to do the weight then and they didn't have the PEDs and they didn't know about nutrition and training. So, and no, I don't think there should be a new weight there. Bridgerweight, weirdly, is probably a reasonable weight. People say, oh, Usyk's proved it's not necessary. Yeah, but Usyk is like a special talent, a generational talent, as they say these days. Billy Joe's dad tried to rush the ring, security stopped him again, and it kicked off. Yeah, I mean, I remember that incident. I just think Tyson should have split everyone up and pulled a few people off. Yeah, he was for sure, but as a pundit, not for me, brother. Spencer Oliver, yeah, he's terrible as a pundit. But they all are. They all are. Look at how bad Beavis and Butthead Gary Barker is. Sorry, I don't mean Gary Barker. R.I.P. Gary Barker. That's the brother of Darren Barker. I apologize. I mean Darren Barker. I apologize. That's the Darren Barker is terrible. Terrible. And he's an ex-world champion. I agree with Bridgeweight. Yep, you should have only one weight under 9 stone. Now that's right, because we're much bigger. The original weights came when the average European was like 5'3" and 9.5 stone or something, or 10 stone. It's very different now. The MMA, UFC style weights are much more realistic for the modern times. Yeah, I agree. We don't need mini flyweight, atom weight, straw weight, and like about 3 pounds between one and another. I mean, it's a joke, right? Yeah, 27 watching and only 12 likes. Yeah, hit the like. And there's a hype button. There's a hype button these days. The hype button, right? I don't know. I think you're limited to how many you can use. It seems quite new, right? and apparently the hype button is like a extra lag. So hit that, man. Yep. Maloney knows his boxing. Maxim at light heavyweight. Yeah. It was exhaustion. I think he was winning on points, but it shows you that moving up a weight back in the day was a lot more significant than it is now. I don't think Spencer Oliver ever recovered from that whooping when you listen to some of his take. I just think he's just another guy that just follows the narrative. Can we please have some love? It's been 50 minutes and not a single super check. I'm starting to wonder. Is the crowd today all wearing a certain style of hat? Get them shekels out. Get them shekels out. Robinson lost about 19 fights. Yeah, he lost. Didn't he lose to Paul Pender twice? Lost to LaMotta. I mean, everyone always goes, oh, he's the greatest fighter ever. And I can guarantee that most of these people are just repeating what they've heard again and again and again. They haven't watched him fight. And yes, of course he's a good fighter. He had 19 losses. But that's from, almost 200 fights or more. People go, oh, a lot of them were at the end of his career. But, that's not necessarily untrue. But who did he lose to? Right, let's go through this. So he lost to LaMotta, Randolph Turpin, who, by the way, was decent, but no more than European level. He lost to Joey Maxim. He got stopped. Ralph Tiger Jones, Gene Fullmer, Carmen Basilio, Paul Pender again, Gene Fullmer again, Denny Moyer, Phil Moyer, Terry Downs from the UK, Joey Giardello, Mick Leahy. I've never heard of the Memo Ayon. Have you heard of Memo Ayon? Well, he beat Sugar Ray Leonard. Stan Harrington. Stan Harrington. Have you heard of him? I haven't. Beat him twice. Yeah. So, and obviously, I don't agree with all these unbeaten records, and I think you have to show. In the old days, he used to fight a lot more against top guys, and they didn't have these long unbeaten records. Apart from Rocky Mars, he lost to Joey Archer in his last fight. So, but if you watch him fight, he's a very good fighter. But anyone just goes, "Oh, he's the best fighter ever." They're just repeating. Okay, I think we have some love. Shane Mongos in the house. It always works. You say Shane Mongos 3 times, the man appears like the Candy Man. Thank you, brother. I'm on my own this weekend. Oh, no, Kirsty today. Oh, it's good to see you. What are you doing, brother? You eating? What are you eating? What are you drinking? What are you doing? It's great to see you, Shane. The channel wouldn't be the same without you, because we know we supported by Shane Mongos. Thank you, brother. Oh, the big man is in the house, and the big man says, "Come on, yeah, tight. See you next Tuesday." Thank you, bro. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it, man. You're kind. I appreciate the kindness and generosity, man. But yeah. I have to grift a bit because because I'm so shadow banned and attacked by YT that we're a people's channel for the funds. Like Sky Bet copied my saying for the funds. Not only that, but I think Bet365 and Paddy Power, one of their adverts, it came on the TV recently. They said, "Hey, come and watch the action." I was like, what? That's Otto Wallin's phrase. Hey, sit back in the culture and watch the action. Yes. Tyson would love to pull a few people off. No Diddy, yeah. I'm sure Tyson would love to pull a few people off. You're both thinking the same way. Yeah, we're talking about the Billy Joe Saunders situations. Great minds think alike. Well done, guys. I know that. In a way, a full-weight champion, ridiculous. Yeah, he's good. But like I said, there's so many more. What is that, 17 weight divisions? 18 with Bridgerweight? And 4 different major world organizations. You can't compare it to the 8 champion era. That's why I seen a thing on Rocky Marciano, and there was 2 black guys. One was called Smoking Jim Frazier, and he said Rocky's the best. He goes, no one No one had that unbeaten record. No one had his come forwardness, his violence, his aggression, his heart, his chin, and he only weighed 180 pounds. Or, and he's right. That doesn't mean, of course, you could throw in Rocky with Lennox. Lennox would obviously be way too big. But you can't compare eras, so there's no point comparing eras, especially with heavyweight divisions, because things have changed. PEDs, weigh-ins, weight cutting, you know what I'm saying? Maxim and Robinson were both boxing in heat. Maximum beat him. Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, you would have thought a black guy would deal better with the heat. But remember they did that with Donnie Lalonde. Donnie Lalonde went to Jamaica and knocked out Leslie Stewart and some other guy. I'm a big Donnie Lalonde fan. He's actually commented on my Teddy Atlas video. You can check it out. And Donnie Lalonde, the blonde guy, they put him in the middle of the day. In the middle of the day against Leslie Stewart. Let's have a look here, man. Yeah, they put him in against Leslie Stewart and I think Eddie Davis. Yeah, in the Port of Spain. He beat Eddie Davis in the second round KO. And Leslie Stewart in 1988 was in the middle of the day. In the middle of the day. So they thought, yeah, this white boy going to flake. This white boy going to flake. And Donnie didn't flake. The Golden Boy knocked out Leslie Stewart in his hometown. This is a new number, Shane. 555. Thank you, brother. Very generous as usual. I'm having a beer and getting a greens delivery tomorrow. Yeah. What beer are you drinking, bro? I had a couple of Red Stripes earlier. I've also got this, the vape. I'm not going to hit it yet, unless people want me to. This is one of the best vapes I've had. I don't really hit it unless I'm about to go to bed because it helps me sleep. It's which is the one the one that makes you chilled, not the one that makes you bubbly. I think Indica. I think Sativa's the up, right? I can't remember, man. But yeah, this one is pretty awesome, man. So good luck, man. I hope you enjoy. He did have about 11 fights in 1 year at one point, Railroads. Oh, I'm sure he did, am I dead? I mean, some of these guys used to box crazy. Mike Tyson had about the same number of fights in 1 year when he started, but, not against world-class opposition. But, yeah. No one's dissing Ray Robinson, but all I'm saying is calling into question that he's the best ever. People say that without thinking. The only best ever has to be a heavyweight. And you go from there. And also, you can't compare eras. So the best ever thing is you can be the best at your time, So to say Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano, Jack Johnson, or whoever, Jack Dempsey were the best ever, yeah, at the time. But you couldn't throw them in against the modern heavyweight. Imagine them against Zhale Zhang. Zhale Zhang would outweigh Rocky by over 100 pounds. Come on, man. 6 weight classes, 9 stone downwards, that's the issue. I mean, yeah, I don't even know no 9 stone men. None. I'll allow flyweight because it's a traditional division. I'll allow bantamweight. It should go flyweight, bantamweight, featherweight. That's it. No other stupid divisions. Crazy that Marciano started boxing at 24, I'm pretty sure. I think it was 23 as an amateur. I think he had about 9 bouts as an amateur as well. That's nothing. He started boxing at 23, man, after knocking out some big mouth. Allegedly, he was an Australian, some big mouth Australian in the pub. Yeah, I mean, that's just insane. But he was just so determined, so tough, and hard hitting. I used to think he was a bit dirty, and I didn't used to like him that much. I preferred Arnold Raymond Cream, a.k.a. Jersey Joe Walcott. He was very slick and a lovely boxer. But, I thought Rocky was a bit dirty. But it doesn't matter, man. He got the job done. Poor old Don Cockle got a hiding, didn't he? Oh, Louis. Oh, Louis, the way you got it. There's the respect. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. Very generous. Thank you for the £2. Thank you, brother. Bless everyone. Red Stripe has glucose syrup in it. I have Mahu, Spanish. Oh, has it got glucose spirit in it? Blood clot. Thank you for telling me, man. Also, Mahu is Spanish. Yeah, I've not heard of this one. The one that you got to watch out for is Madrid. It's real popular, right? And they say, the heart of Spain, the heart of Madrid. It's brewed and owned by a company in Yorkshire, right? And the way that they justify that it's the soul or whatever, the heart of Madrid and Spain, is because they allegedly hired a Spanish consultant. It's all a lie. Everything in this world's a lie. You've got to realize that. We're all being lied to. Everything is theater. Win or lose, do you think Crawford will continue to box? Yeah, he'll get a rematch against Canelo. Of course he will. He's not going to turn out another 50 million or 30 million to fight Canelo, is he? No. He'll definitely fight again. We watched a couple of Terry Marsh fights. Great to watch. Terry Marsh is unique. He's super tough, intelligent. He's funny. He even said about himself, like, I couldn't really punch. When I knocked someone out, I was shocked. He's really good at chess. He was a fireman. He was a Marine. He's done a lot. I'm trying to get him on the channel. There was some guy saying they could get him on the channel, but I asked Terry myself. I said, do you know this guy? He goes, no. I've never heard of him. And he said, you was in Wandsworth because I've never been in Wandsworth. So, but I'm talking to him, but I'm taking it easy, Terry, I would love to have Terry Marsh on the show. He's a true legend to me. They pulled his license, didn't they? I think he won the title by beating Joe Louis Manley, the American, in a Basildon circus tent, right? And then he used to have one of the lowest heartbeats, apparently. That's why he was so fit. His heartbeat and blood pressure was real low or something like that. And he had amazing fitness. He's probably a guy who could box 100 rounds and then box another 100 rounds. So, yeah, Terry Marsh. They pulled his license. I can't remember why. Can anyone remember why? Maloney. Maloney knows. Maloney. Why did they pull Terry Marsh's license, man? Rocky was also disadvantaged because them short T-Rex. Yeah, it's quite weird because the average puncher usually has real broad shoulders, right? And often quite long arms, like Tommy Hearns, McClellan, Ben, people like that, you know what I'm saying? But then some of the white punchers are stockier, like Matthew Hilton, Rocky Marciano, and Rocky had really short arms, but it was a clubbing puncher. But also he could be, when he knocked out Arnold Raymond Cream Jr., I mean, that was just a perfect shot. Bing! The guy tried, whoop! I just give him a little tap on the head. Bop! And walked off. He just walked off. And then Walcott goes, boop. Yeah. I mean, he had so many disadvantages, Rocky, and he had quite sloping shoulders, but he could bang. No one wanted to get hit by Rocky. Even if Crawford takes a loss, he won't quit after great fighters come back and avenge the loss. I don't know if there's a rematch clause, but like I said, I think it'll go the distance and there'll be a rematch. Marsh was also a stockbroker. Whoa. And don't forget chess boxing champion. Yeah, I didn't know about the stockbroker, bro. That's really interesting. The chess boxing, chess boxing was weird. It's like they'd fight one round and then they would play a round of chess. Now I thought that, obviously there's some idiot that thought, we'll combine something cerebral and something ultimately physical and we'll have a perfect sport. Well, obviously it doesn't work that way. If you're really good at boxing and whack at chess, you just make sure you don't get beaten in the first round of chess and then you just whack them out. Terry was, I think, aged 58 or something. He was chess boxing champion. Epilepsy. Michael Maloney. I knew Maloney would know. No one knows his boxing like Maloney. Epilepsy. That was right. He suffered from epilepsy. He got a license taken away, and he got imprisoned for allegedly shooting fish eyes. But yeah, well done, Michael. Thank you for that. Thank you for reminding me. But yeah, it'd be great to have him on. He's unique. I think there was an article on him on Boxing News recently, I think. But he's not a forgotten champion, but he doesn't sit there bragging or talking about it. But he's by far one of the most interesting fighters. I want to see if there's a Terry Marsh. Did he do an autobiography? Let me have a check. Because his story must be real interesting, man. There's obviously some things you won't be able to talk about. But I think he's written a book. Terry Marsh book. Let's have a look. Yeah, Undefeated. T. Marsh. Undefeated. I'll show you that. It's on Amazon. Images. Terry Marsh book. Yeah. So I'd be quite interesting to read. My story, Terry Marsh. Yeah, I might buy that, man. £6 on eBay. Terry Marsh. It's £21 on Amazon, but you get it on eBay for £6 plus delivery. I never noticed until recently, but David Diamante was in Creed 3. Oh, that dirty scumbag gets everywhere, man. He's a piece of shit, man. That's all there is to it. I reckon Creed 3 was worse than boxing film ever. I may have watched it when I was drunk. I can't even remember anything about it. Is that the one when he fights Drago's son, who looks nothing like... Right. Drago's son is meant to be the offspring of Ivan Drago and the Brigitte Nielsen character. Both of them blonde, good looking. And then he turns out to be this huge muscle-bound kind of Romanian guy. Very weird, man. I like to see Max Jenkins in chess boxing. Well, he's at a big disadvantage because A, he can't fight, and B, he's stupid. He's got a 45 IQ, so he's going to lose at boxing and chess. Maloney knows. Creed 3 is like over an hour rap video, no soul. You can tell it's a massive cash and grab, and Stallone not involved. Is that the one where their daughter's deaf and she starts boxing, and they're basically just setting up for a fourth Creed where a woman is a boxer? I guarantee it will happen. She's a woman boxer who's also disabled, and she will carry on the Creed name and yawn. Ivan Drago's son was in Creed 2. I'm thinking about Creed 2. So Creed 3 was the one with the daughter. Who does he fight in Creed 3? I don't even know if I watched it, man. I think I might have watched something going, I'm not watching this shit no more. I'm not watching this shit. Are you going to see the new boxing film, Christy? Christy Martin, when it hits cinema? No. With the big knockers, Sydney Sweeney. You have to see it because women... I know we have to say it already. Women's boxing films are so much better than the men. Yeah, there was that boxing film with... who's that woman in the boxing film? And it's really unrealistic. She gets hit and she falls over and breaks her neck on the stool and becomes paralyzed, which has never happened in boxing before. And it's virtually impossible. You can't break your neck by falling on a stool. The body is stronger than that. I mean, it's technically possible, but so ridiculous. What was that one? It was whack. I mean, Max would probably have to wear a bra and just boxing. Creed 4 plot twist: the women are better than the men. With Clint Eastwood. Oh, what, the women's boxing one? Was that Clint Eastwood? Yeah, I quite like Clint Eastwood. He's done some quite base films. Dirty Harry and the one where he goes to prison, and what's the one where he's 95 years old, Clint? What's the one where he gives Gran Torino? That's okay. Oh, $1 million baby. $1 million baby. That's right. It was just pathetic. Awful. That's right. $1 million baby. That's right. That's it. It was terrible. So bad. Who was in that, man? It was pathetic, man. It was so embarrassingly bad. And obviously, the press went nuts and said how great it was. You know? It was pathetic, man. You know, so cringe. Who was the actor and actress in that? Yeah, I did have Clint Eastwood. I'd totally forgotten about that. Clint Eastwood. It's based on stories from the 2000 collection. This is what it says Wikipedia. It's based on stories from the 2000 collection, Ropeburn, Stories from the Corner by FX Tool. I read that. And it's not bad, but I don't think it's really based on that. It stars Hilary Wank, directed by Clint Eastwood. Yeah, well, cringe, man. The opponent of Creed 3 was called Damian Anderson, and he fought Jose Benavidez Jr. Oh, yeah. So he was the bad guy. He got put in prison, right? And he came back from back in the day, and he starts dissing Creed for being a coconut, right? That's the one. Yeah, that was whack, pathetic. Right turn, Clyde. Oh, yeah, man. Clyde the orangutan. I love orangutans. They're such beautiful creatures, man. Clyde the orangutan. That's right, man. Does he knock someone out? Yeah. I thought she was quite fit. Yeah, Hilary Wank. Yeah, she didn't look bad. Slightly masculine, but she's okay. I'd give it to her back in the day. There's also someone called Girl Fight with out of the Fast and Furious films. Yeah, what other boxing films do you like? Obviously, there's the Rocky ones, and I especially like Rocky 5, even though it gets dissed. But if you take out the Stage Stallone, by the way, Stage Stallone died in mysterious circumstances, as did Tommy Morrison, obviously. But if you take out the son story, which is a bit lame, it's actually a pretty good film. And especially knowing what happened to Tommy, the Duke Morrison, in real life, and I watched it quite a lot. I think people give it a hard time, but again, you program people go, oh, Sugar Ray Robinson's the best fighter ever. Oh, Rocky 5 is the worst Rocky, and people just repeat it. They might not even have watched Robinson fight or watched Rocky 5. Hilarious wank. Chip B, yeah. What's your prediction for Canelo Crawford? Even though it'll be the smaller man, I'm going to have Crawford on points. Bro, you need to watch LB videos, bro. No, thanks for the super chat, bro. I'm going for Canelo points. Possibly. I don't think it will be exciting. There will possibly be a little bit of controversy. He might hurt Crawford once or twice, but he won't finish him, I don't think. And at the end they'll have a rematch. And like I said a million times, everyone get paid again. The promoters, the casinos, the venue, the managers, the fighters, the brasses, the restaurants, the bars, blah blah blah. It's got to go the distance, surely. So yeah, I'm going for Canelo points. A draw wouldn't surprise me. Railway said a draw. I like boxing, but some of the fights are far-fetched, especially Rocky, as Ivan Drago and Rocky 4. Yeah, there's a funny one. There's someone does a little on YouTube. They do a little thing saying what would really happen in Rocky 4 if it was real, and they just edit it, and it's basically Rocky getting knocked out in a round by Drago. Raging Bull was good, yeah, with the fighter with the fighter with Christian Bale, not bad, but I would say to you, it's got not Donnie Wahlberg, Mark Wahlberg. It's funny because Donnie Wahlberg used to be the star, and then Mark Wahlberg became the star. But Marky Mark, as I like to call him, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, yeah, because he tried to walk on the wild side. Yeah? Good Vibrations, all those old hits from Marky Mark, yeah, because he chose to walk on the wild side. Yeah, that's not bad. But if you really want to watch the real story of what's his name, Dickie Eklund and Mickey Ward, watch. I think it's an HBO documentary on Dickie Eklund, and it's real life. And he's a crackhead. And you see the dirt of the crackhead, and you see his life for real, and being in prison and stuff. It's really good, actually, the documentary. So go and look at that. But the film wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. But it's easy, and people go, "Oh, Christian Bale was so good in it." I like Christian Bale. He's good in American Psycho, very good in American Psycho. But anyone playing a nutter, well, it's easy to play a nutter. You just act weird, you know what I'm saying? You just act a bit weird and like cracked out and shit. No, he's such a good actor. Yeah. What about Rocky Balboa? 2066 was quite underrated. Is that the one where he fights Antonio Tarver? I didn't mind that one. But like I said, for me, the Rockies end at Rocky 5. For me. Oh, now this is interesting. I'm glad you mentioned this, Michael Malone. I like Gladiator, 90s boxing film, silly and even decent. Yes, has Brian Dennehy, Cuba Gooding Jr. I'm going to get it up and just have a look here, right? Brian Dennehy, Cuba Gooding Jr. Okay, and it's got some white boy, or an alleged white boy, called James Marshall, right? Right, he's Gladiator boxing film, right? So I'm going to put that in, right? So go and have a look. It's got Cuba Gooding, some Latino guy, Brian Dennehy. It's called Gladiator. Okay, it's called Gladiator. And okay, you see that James Marshall, right? He's a real pretty, good-looking white guy. Guess what his real name is? Okay, I'll put this out there. As a prize, and the prize is just the dance. If you can guess what James Marshall's real name is without checking it, you get the dance. I'll check your vid out. Must have missed out. No problem, bro. But yeah, I did a preview and I basically go, it's going on distance and I think Canelo points. Marky Mark, New Kids on the Block. Well, it wasn't New Kid on the Block. That was Donnie Wahlberg. Marky Mark was his brother. And then he did the Calvin Klein. Donnie used to be the big star. And he's been in a couple of films, including I See Dead People, that one, right? I think. And but then Marky Mark did a couple of raps and everyone thought he's whack, he's never going to make it. And then he did a Calvin Klein advert with Kate Moss and he blew up. He became really big. Good film. Yeah, can you guess? Oh, The Champ is an excellent film starring John Voight and Tearjerker. Worth a watch. I watched it when I was young. And yeah. I remember. I think it's got Randall Tex Cobb in it, right? Doesn't he fight Randall Tex Cobb at the end? The Champ with John Voight. I think Randall Tex Cobb kills him, doesn't he? And the little boy starts crying. I watched that when I was young. And yeah, obviously I was young, so I got a bit upset. But let's have a look, man. I'm pretty sure he's got Randall Tex Cobb in it. He's been in a lot of films, by the way. A lot of films, by the way. Come on, man. Okay, can anyone tell me when I'm looking, right? What James Marshall in Gladiator, what his real name is. What his real name is. Randall Tex Cobb is there. Yeah, Randall Tex Cobb is in that John Voight film. What's a boxing film based on a true story about a boxer who broke his neck? Oh, the Vinny Pazienza film. Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. Vinny Pazienza, the Pazienza film. Yeah, he generally broke his neck and he started training when he had that frame on him and he came back to win a world title against Gilbert Dele. Yeah. Name 5 boxing films to come before Rocky. No Googling. Yeah. I'll let everyone else do that, but I mean, obviously, there's The Champ. There's what's the one with Marlon Brando? I Could Have Been a Contender. There's that one. There's a bunch of them. Before Rocky, Muhammad Ali did a film, didn't he, about himself? But that was probably after, actually. Yeah. Vinny Paz. That's right. Vinny Paz. Okay, Michael says Pazienza. That's his real name. Or it was his real name. Vinny Pazienza actually changed his name to Vinny Paz, weirdly. And there's even a rapper called Vinny Paz, which is weird. He's in Saw 2. Who? Randall Tex Cobb. The Champ was 1979. Terry and Minder. I don't know who you're talking about, bro. I never watched Minder. But, okay, let me tell you with James Marshall and Gladiator. The film you mentioned, Michael. You mentioned Gladiator. It's not bad. So let me tell you what the name... James Marshall, the white guy, the pretty white guy who's the main actor in it. Guess what his real name is? James Greenblatt. James Greenblatt. Same as David Giamonte. Can you believe that, man? I mean, I was shocked when I found out because he looks like... He don't look like a Greenblatt, does he? James Marshall. But, yeah. James Greenblatt. Well, it's certainly Greenblatt. Let's see. Yeah, Cuba Gooding, James Marshall, Brian Dennehy. It's quite a good cast, man. Quite a good cast. I don't know if there are any real boxers in it. Let me have a look. Any real boxers there? Any real boxers? I can't see any. Really? Yeah, bro. I swear down. I will go and have a look. Go with James Marshall, Gladiator, real name. Okay. It is 100% Greenblatt. 100%. I don't even need to look. I know it's real. Someone else look. Terry's Fights in Minder with the stuff of Leisure Malone. Yeah, I never watched Minder. Yeah, I never really watched it. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't allowed to watch it. I can't remember. James Marshall, Gladiator, real name. I always had to prove things. Okay. Okay. Overview. The real name of actor James Marshall, who starred in the 1992 film Gladiator, is James David Greenblatt. I mean, you would never have guessed, would you? I got a full DVD box set. You know what I watched the other day? I haven't watched for years was Sopranos. Someone was talking about the intervention scene. You know, with you're weak, you're an embarrassment. I found you with your head in the toilet. And I'd forgotten how good Sopranos was. There are a few base moments. It does tend to go a little bit agenda at some points, but they're still. I forgot how good The Sopranos was. The acting, you know, the Silvio. You know, he's actually a member of Bruce Springsteen's backing band, Silvio Dante. Yeah, my favorite was always Paulie Walnuts, and obviously Tony Soprano. But they got that weird bit, isn't it, where Meadow Soprano goes out with that guy who doesn't really fit the image of a guy you'd want your daughter to go out with. Mind are worth watching. Terry was undefeated versus women in real life. Probably like Billy Joel. Sopranos is brilliant. Yeah, I maybe I need to watch it again. The thing is, it's so long, and I think, well, I watched it. Why should I watch it again? But I've forgotten so much of it. When I watched the intervention scene, I've totally forgotten it. And Christopher has been really cheeky, and I'm surprised he didn't get whacked. You know, he's like, oh yeah, what about you, Silvio, cheating on your wife all the time? What about you, Tony? And then he starts slagging everyone off. I'm thinking, this kid's going to get whacked. Eventually does get whacked, but not for that reason. Sopranos is a great series, all-time favorite. Yeah, I think I will watch it again. I will watch it again. I'd like to see something new. Does anyone have anything new to recommend? You know, Jamie Lynn Sigler, who plays Meadow, is not even Italian. She's Cuban-American. Doesn't surprise me. But, you know, I mean, you're allowed a little bit of, you know, I mean, what I mean by that is what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, yeah, you know, you don't have to be the exact same background as the person you're playing. That's not necessarily a problem. But also, you know, remember the Jersey Shore, yeah? Who's the short, stocky one? She wasn't even Italian. She's from Peru. You remember that? You remember the Jersey Shore with its situation? And Paulie D with his blowout? Yeah? Let me see. What was the cast? Snooky, the midget, the meatball, is from Peru. She's not even Italian American. And there's meant to be a show about Italian Americans, man. I only watched Sopranos twice the way through, but I love it. I think the guy who played Paulie actually had real connections with him. Oh, Paulie Walnuts, yeah. There's pictures of him on the beach looking bad. He's ripped with muscles, and he's wearing a wife beater. You know, like one of them wife beating tops. He's wearing a crucifix. God bless you all, by the way. God bless you all. Jesus Christ is King, and you know, he and he's got his. He's on the beach in Jersey, and he's got his trousers pulled up really high. He's wearing a wife beater, and he's muscled, man. Yeah, Paulie Walnuts was definitely linked. Oh, also, right, you know, in the what's it called, the Jersey Shore, Ronnie was half Latino, Ronnie Ortiz Magalo. So they're always lying about this, that, and the other, man. My man, Better Call Saul was good. Yeah, Saul was one of the characters in Breaking Bad. I watched Breaking Bad. I didn't finish it. I was like, yeah, I kind of like it. It's not that great, though. Overrated. Does anyone give an F about these boring midget? All the visions on the cruiser are just cringe, man. I agree. I mean, I won't go as far as saying under cruiser, but certainly under middleweight. You know, you can't, and especially in the modern world. I mean, you go to the pub, you see a couple of midgets, you know, and you're like, well, I could just fold you in half. Like Sonny Eras, I'm a world champion. I've done something you've never done, Trilby. I'm a world champion. I said, yeah, but I'd fold you in half. I'd knock you out. I'd snap you in half, man. I'd eat you. You know, it doesn't mean anything. If boxing was pure, there would be no weight divisions, right? It's like I said a million times, there's no height divisions in the NBA. Although I'd like to see the dwarf NBA, that'd be cool. There's any other sport, weightlifting has different weights for the same reason as boxing, to give midgets a chance to compete. But if it was pure, there's no weight divisions in shot put, is there? Or javelin, right? But you could argue there should be. So boxing weight divisions were made up to give smaller people a chance, and I can understand that. But the reality is there's only one king. There's only one king in boxing, and that's the heavyweight champion. That's it. End of. No BS, no pound for pound. Tulsa King is brilliant. Oh, I started to watch that, bro. It's got Sylvester Stallone in it. I did watch some of that, or maybe I watched all of it. I can't remember. Michael loved Meadow Soprano. Yeah, What sexually? Melo was fit. I can't even remember what she looked like. It's been so long ago. Yeah, the Sopranos was really started the Gangster TV shows. There weren't any Gangster TV shows before Sopranos. People talk about The Wire, and I watched a few of The Wire, and I was like, I even bought a box set. Everyone goes, it's so good, it's so good. I watched it. I go, this is whack. It's too agenda based. It's just making excuses for wrong-uns. I was like, it's not that good. And goes, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it all the way through. I said, I'm not gonna watch it. I watched 3 or 4 of them, and they're whack. The actor who played Hesh, the coin clipper on The Sopranos, just died recently. Oh, Hesh, what a surprise! Yeah, Hesh was also in a world trip. Oh, damn. Was Sopranos before The Wire? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. The Shield is good as well. Don't know about The Shield. Better Call Saul is better than Breaking Bad, to be fair. I didn't watch it because maybe I will. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Saul likes a small hat, though, right? Anyone seen The Wire? That's what I just said. I tried to watch it. I thought it was pretty whack. Sopranos started 1999 before The Wire. That's right, man. That's right. Jermaine Franklin is weighted at 256 and Disco weighted at 239.5. That's as I predicted on my video. I actually said Franklin. He actually came in at 236 for his gay J. Weirdly. But most of his fights have been around the 250. I thought he'd come in at 250. Ditchko generally weighs in at 236, so no problem with those weights. You know, if they took a dump, they'd probably lose 3 pounds, 4 pounds, 5 pounds. And if John Fisher took a dump, he loses 1.5 stone. So, you know, I think Disco will win. The question is, it's a 10-rounder, right? Not 12, right? So the question is, will he stop Franklin? And if he did, it'd be impressive. Disco has been one of those anomalies. You're like, well, you should have been fighting for the World Championship in 2022. He turned pro in 2017 after 2 bronze medals, beating Bakodir Jalolov 4 times at least. Some people say 5, but I can only find 4 on BoxRec. Check out my preview of the fight. I'm going Ditchko on points because I think Franklin, he'll get hurt a couple of times, but I think he'll turtle up. He'll turtle up, as Americans say. And he'll be afraid of committing. A bit like when he fought Gay J. Okay? And Ditchko will outbox him. Ditchko's got power, but I think Franklin might make it through. I might do a live. I might do a live for the I'm not gonna do a live for Canelo because it'd be like 5 a.m. I'm not staying up, man. I'm going to church as well on Sunday. I'm going to church. I found a new church, which is evangelical, and yeah. So I'm not staying up to do it, but I might do a live. I'm doing a live for Paddy Donovan, Lewis Crocker, and I might do a live for the undercard of Canelo vs Terence Crawfish. Ditchko vs Franklin. Also, Callum Walsh vs Fernando Vargas Jr. is a very interesting fight. 2 prospects. If there was a midget NBA, they could have little trampolines. They could do crazy tugs. I haven't seen midgets do that. It's kind of cool, man. The Wire was crap. I agree. 2 episodes. Yeah, I was like, why are people raving over this shit? So, and he pretends to be a small hat. He's actually Irish. Oh, I didn't know that, man. That's very interesting. That's clever. Yeah, people always go, oh, the first season's a bit slow. The second stage gets brilliant off that. Yeah, but I'm not going to put in that time, bro. I'm not going to put in that time. I reckon Franklin gets stopped. It's a good possibility, but Ditchko must. I mean, he hasn't fought much. He's had 15 fights in 8 years. You know. Severance is interesting. Bit out there with cool premise. Don't know it. Franklin fights at 0.5% speed. Yeah, I mean, it opened up as just about evens, and I was like, jump on Ditchko, and then it dropped a bit, but I still got 1.85 on Ditchko. Bodo Kemper. I watched a bit of that. Sons of Anarchy, never watched. Peaky Blinders, never watched. Gomorrah. Gomorrah was good. There's a bit of a gender in it, especially later on, but Gomorrah with Jenny. Hey, Jenny. Oh, yeah. Gomorrah, it's subtitle. It's Italian, but it's, yeah. And they even go to London for one of the late series. I think series 6. Gomorrah, yeah. Gomorrah, definitely. Very, very good. Bodo Kemper, I kind of liked. I don't think I watched it all. It's got Steve Buscemi. I've heard Mobland is very good. Very, very good. I wouldn't say that. It's watchable, but there's some really creepy, weird stuff in it. There's one bit with the main character who's Tom Hardy, right? Who's a good actor. Like I said, it don't mean much. It means you're a good liar. He gets his boy, and he tells him, he sits him down. He starts telling him what kind of prawn to watch. I'm like, what? Who tells that 11-year-old boy what kind of prawn to watch? And then he paints him in makeup and puts nail varnish on him. I'm sorry, man. I'm not watching anything with that. There was an FBI agent that infiltrated the mafia, became a made man. He was Cuban, not Italian. What, Donnie Brasco? If you mean Donnie Brasco, he wasn't made. He was almost made. He's put up for it, but he wasn't made. His name is Don... What's his name? Pistone or something? Something Pistone? Joe Pistone in real life? Is that who you mean? Is that who you mean, bro? Yeah, Chubby, if you don't mind subtitles, I highly recommend Italian Mob Stories Gomorrah. I've watched it all, bro. Really good. Jenny, L'Immortal, yeah, the Neapolitan Gangsters, man. Yeah, that is a super, super series. Yeah, definitely. Jermaine Last Fight was made 2024. Okay, so he's been out for a bit as well, and he's fat, and he hasn't got a bad KO ratio, but he's not really a knockout guy. I believe, I'm pretty certain that Disco will win, but it's whether it's point or not. Kin 2, the Irish show is very good. He's got Cayman. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Cayman Agyarko. He's Ishmael Davis or something. I mean, I'm not that bothered about that fight. Cayman Agyarko is just not world class. You know, he's been pushed because he's Black Irishman, but he's not that good. Paddy Donovan, Lewis Crocker, good fight. Is it a world title fight? It's more of a European fight for me, but I like Donovan. Who else is on that bill? I can't remember the bill being that incredible, to be honest with you. It'd be kind of cool to. It'd be very good atmosphere though. If I was in Ireland, I'd like to go. In fact, you know that who's that midget? Charlie Parsons tried to make friends with me, right? Oh, Pat Brown's on it. I like Pat Brown. Oh, Molly Meatball McCann is on it. Well, that should be the top of the bill because the women are better than the men. But yeah, Charlie Parsons, I give him some credit. After threatening me up and me rinsing him, he got in touch. But then he starts going, I'll get you some tickets to see the Donovan Crocker show. I said, I'm not coming to that. That's in Ireland, bro. Why you know, and he's obviously trying to stitch me up. I thought that was a bit weak. He said he'd come on the show, but, you know. Yeah, Brasco was put up by the FBI before being made. Correct. That was a good film as well. Donnie Brasco is a good film. You have to be clear. There's a lot of real good films about the Irish mafia. Funny enough, the Italian mafia. By the way, there's no such thing. The mafia is basically Sicilian. Even the Irish, so the blood clot, Sicilian American gangsters, they don't even call themselves the mafia, do they? It's our thing. They got a different word for it. And you know, mafia gets used as a term for gangsters, but it's just Sicilian mafia. Yeah, Donnie Brasco's a good film. You know, there's a lot of films about Italian American gangsters, but not very many films about certain other community gangsters who are equally, if not more powerful. Maya Lansky, people like that, Bugsy Siegel, and the films that are about them, they actually portray them in quite a nice way. I wonder why. Severance, the office work memories are split outside work memories, so they don't know what they get up to on either side. Oh yeah, I haven't watched that. Boxing classics. Severance is great. Probably the best thing on at the minute for me. Okay, I might have a look at that. Yeah, Joe Pistone. He was asked to kill someone. Probably have made it if he had done it, but obviously he had to put him out at that point. Yeah. I mean, he's a bit of a piece of shit, to be honest. I mean, that's his role, I guess, but I'm not going to back some cop, I don't know. Yeah, Donnie Brasco, the film is really good. Donnie Brasco, Carlitos Way, The Puerto Ricans, Goodfellas, Casino, Scarface. Yeah, those films are all bad, man. No, he's called Jack Garcia. The FBI agent. He wasn't made. He was almost made. Okay, let me have a look, man. Jack Garcia. I never heard of this. I'm surprised I haven't made a film out of it. You know, I might have seen a YouTube video on it. It's jogging my memory a bit. Oh, Joaquin Jack Garcia is a Cuban-American retired FBI agent known for his undercover work, infiltrating the Gambino crime family. Wow. I'm sorry, you would have think there was a film on that, right? Ah, I've got some love. There's some love from Mr. Matthew Wilson. Thank you so much, Mr. Matthew Wilson. Chubby, if you had to choose to eat pig balls once or any black pudding for the rest of your life, which would you choose? What, only black pudding? Only black pudding? Or could I have black pudding with every meal? I mean, if I could only eat black pudding, then, there's too much I want to eat, bro. I mean, imagine, you should be asking Big John Fisher this question. By the way, I'm going to call John Fisher out. I've seen him on the pads. For a big fat lump of shit, he's not bad. Apparently, he used to box for Repton. I don't know if that's true. It's not verified. But you see him on the pads, and he actually isn't that bad. So, yeah, I'd like to find him on Misfits. I just need to keep on trolling him, and eventually... But, yeah, would I eat pig balls? I mean, that's a weird question, but I'd have to eat pig balls once. I just swallow it really fast and try not to be sick and try and forget about it. Because I couldn't eat just black pudding for the rest of my life, bro. Come on, bro. There's a good movie on YouTube called... free movie called Gotti. Yeah, make sure it's a 1996 version. Yes, you mean Gotti with Armand Asante, don't you? Armand Asante. Yes. Even Michael Francis. I don't know why they never pronounce Italian American names properly. They always Americanize them. Michael Francis. This will be Michael Francesi or something like that. Rocky Marciano. His name's not Rocky Marciano. It's Rocco Marchegiano. But they had to Americanize it. So the Armand Asante and Gotti. Yeah, that's real good. But Michael Francis, as he calls himself, who's a real interesting guy. He's now a Christian. He used to be a gangster. He was, not a good-looking guy, very slick. He was called the white-collar gangster or something stupid. The Departed. Yeah, I've never watched that. Apparently it's good. State of Grace, Road to Perdition, Miller's Crossing, Black Mass, all about the Irish mob, mostly in Boston. All good films. Yeah. What's the one, the Whitey Bulger? Isn't there a film with that? Yeah, Gotti, great film. There's several Gotti films. We're talking about the Armand Asante version. Yeah. Big John vs. Bomac. No, man, I'd knock both of them out. Bums out. You've seen me on the pads now. You've seen me on the pads. I've knocked them bums out. I thought The Girl with a Dragon Tattoo was pretty good. Never seen it. Never heard. Well, I've heard of it, but never seen it. Now, when he made the film FBI Agent a few years ago, don't think anything came of it, though. Yeah, there's a book. I look in here, I can see there's a book called Making Jack Falcone. The undercover FBI agent takes down a mafia family. Jack Falcone, yeah. 6'4", 375 pounds. He's bigger than Jolly Jean. But not as big as Big John Fisher. I remember that shot of Bomac eating that family pack of all the Doritos. No, they weren't Doritos. They were Cheetos, bro. They were Cheetos. Stuffing his fat face. Him and Big John Fisher should have an eat-off. Man vs. Food. Yeah, that's Black Mass, the Whitey Bulger film. Oh, okay, cool. I'll check that out. I might put that down. Yeah, the Whitey Bulger film. I'd like to see that. I'm boxing this weekend too. Oh, yeah, why is all the boxing on one weekend? They do this all the time. There's been no good boxing for a month, and then they dump all these fights on. Inoue will be on Sunday morning, I guess. I'll probably be in church, though, so I won't watch it. But is it on DAZN? If it's on DAZN, I'll watch the replay. And you can often find replays on Daily Motion on a variety of channels. Hackers was great, cheesy with a cult classic. Yeah, it had Angelina Jolie with Johnny Lee, whatever his name is, that Scottish guy in Trainspotting, right? Soundtrack was amazing, yeah. I don't think I've ever watched that film, but I used to really fancy Angelina Jolie, but then she cut her boobies off, and also she is Illuminati and she's involved in Satanism and she's admitted it. There's videos of her admitting it and getting up to rituals, so... Whitey Bulger ended up a grass. A lot of them do. Henry Hill ended up a grass. You could say Michael Francesi ended up a grass. Huh? Most of them do. And also, they all work with the police. People don't realize this. You could the coppers and the big, not the little street guys. Well, actually, even the little street guys. How many local dealers you know that are never getting nicked? It's because they're allowed to get up to their little nonsense because they serve up information to the police. And even at the big level, they do the same thing. They a lot of them are from secret societies, and what they do is they work with the police, and they give them tips, and the police lets them go. In a way, I think it's overrated. Just all of his opponents are just unknowns. Really, I mean, he's exciting. I'll definitely watch him. You know, Sammy the Bull Gravano, yeah, also grass, and he whacked people. He whacked loads of people, and he's out there, and he's talking about the gang life, and I'm like, well, but you're grass. Yeah, thank you, Maloney. Most major criminals are grasses. That's exactly right. But you know, they have to keep that thing. Oh, if you grass, we'll kill you. You can never grass, because the reason they do that is to keep the foot soldiers in order. But they're up to it at the same time. Someone told me on a live the other day that who's Paulie in Goodfellas. Paulie in Goodfellas. The guy who's representing was apparently a nonce. I don't know if that's true, but you know. Right. 1:42. We'll do another 15 minutes. So we'll finish soon. There's still time to super check. Thank you, by the way, to everybody, of course, who's super checked. Of course, the legend Shane Bongos. For, of course, the big man's himself. Of course, Shane again with 555, which I've never seen. Interesting that. Louis Louis, my boy, has given many times. £2. Thank you, brother. Matthew Wilson in the house. Thank you, brother. Wanted to ask me about black pudding. Yeah, I hope I answered your question. Thank you, guys. That's really generous. I really appreciate it. Yeah. I've heard most of the time when a dealer gets grassed up, it's not their neighbours, other grasses getting rid of the competition. That as well. That's another thing. Yeah. It's all a game, man. It's all theatre. It's lies. When you look at 25 years to life, they usually sing like a canary. Honour amongst thieves is a bullshit. There is one big exception. One big exception. Michael Francese's father. Right? Check out Michael Frances, as he called himself. So his dad, I think it's called Michael Frances Sr., he gets name-checked in Goodfellas, which is interesting. But Michael Frances, his father, refused to grass and got like 100 years in prison or something crazy like that. So there are exceptions. So, oh no, his father's called Sonny Frances. Sonny Frances refused to testify and grass and got a huge prison sentence. Yeah. A huge prison sentence, and he even put a hit on his own son for being a grass. So what do you know about that? So there are exceptions, but yeah, few grasses on YouTube is full of grasses, man. Other dealers, yeah, you're right, bro. I might did it. Yeah, I've heard most of the time when a dealer gets, yeah, sorry, I already said that. Sorry. Yeah. Roy DeMeo used to distribute child porn. Did he? Roy DeMeo? Yeah, he was a deadly, vicious guy. The mafia is paid like some noble thing, but they do anything there's money at. Yeah. And who's the other guy? You know, the guy that Joe Pesci plays in Goodfellas. Obviously, Joe Pesci's a midget, but that was based on what's his name? Oh, let me find out. I've got to get things right. So Joe Pesci character in Goodfellas was called Tommy DeVito, right? But his real name was Tommy DeSimone. And he was a huge man. Very violent. He wasn't a little like Joe, and a loose cannon. And he upset a few people. He ended up disappearing. They never found his body. What time is the live stream for Crocker Donovan, says Rover? I imagine them 9 probably, because I'm not that interested in the undercard. I don't think the undercard is that good. So I think probably I'll start it at 9 or 8:30. Tommy DeVito, yeah, that's in the movie, but Tommy DeVito is based on Tommy DeSimone, who's a huge, very violent man. New Tate and Piers interview later at 11 p.m. We'll watch that. Yeah, I mean, they're both actors, man. The real Tommy was 6'3". Yeah, unlike Midget Joe. Right, exactly. Tommy DeSimone. and he disappeared. He just started taking too many risks. He became a liability. So they whacked him, and some people say he was buried in concrete. He's in a building somewhere. So it's a dangerous game being a gangster, man, because you upset someone, you're finished. Yeah, you know, you got to deal with the police. You got to deal with your other gangsters. You could get grassed. Exactly, Mike. Exactly. What about Fuentes? Yeah, Fuentes, I don't know. He says some base stuff, but I'm always of the opinion you cannot have such a big platform unless you're controlled or bought. So I don't believe that. Yeah, Fuentes, I'm not sure about, man. By the way, have a look at the slow motion of the guy that recently got whacked. It looks very AI. Everything, the ring slips from this finger to that finger. That's impossible. Gotti was rumored to have killed DeVito. You mean DeSimone? DeSimone, yeah. M25 Foundation's apparently filled with people. Yeah, allegedly, bro. What about you, Mr. B? You hit 100K. Should we say that you are bought? Well, I will never do that. The reason you can see I'm not bought is because I'm kept down. I've got barely 6.5 subscribers when I should have like 30 or 40. You know, early on, my lives, when I had 1,000 subscribers, would be 1, 2,000, 3,000 views. Now I get like 250 views. And my normal videos will get 2.5, 5,000 views. And now I get like 250 views. It will never happen, bro. So I'm not going to get those 100K. Apparently so, Mr. Maloney. Oh, the M25. Yeah. Maloney knows a lot of shit, bro. Not just about boxing. You know what I'm saying? He knows a lot of shit, man. Bright guy. It was a real one. DeVito or DeSimone? I messed up now. Mixed up. Tommy DeSimone is the real one. Tommy DeVito is the one based on Simone, but played by Joe Pesci. The real one is Tommy DeSimone, who was a huge man. He was like 220 pounds, 6'3". So DeVito is the Goodfellas version of it. Because they changed a lot of names, like Jimmy Conway in the Robert De Niro character. It's called Jimmy Conway, but in real life, it's called Jimmy Burke. Mess with a bull, you get the horns. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I've really enjoyed it. I'm going to go and eat some food, get my food on. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, for the Paddy Donovan Lewis Crocker fight. And possibly, depends on the start time. And depends how I feel. Possibly, Ivan Ditchko vs Franklin. And if it's the Callum Walsh vs Fernando Vargas Jr., son of Fernando Vargas, who I used to really like. So yeah, I'll see you then. Joe Pesci looked more like the guy he played in Casino. Yeah, Joe Pesci's good at playing those horrible little bastards, isn't he? The Casino guy, I can't remember what the real guy's called, man. Great seeing Triple B for the fans. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for my wretch, my admin for being there. And then the Triple B will come back for Canelo Crawford. We'll see about that. We'll see about it. I said I got to go to church on Sunday. I found a good church, so you know that has to take precedence. You know, Christ is King. All right, guys. Peace in the Middle East. We'll see you soon. I'm out now, and thank you very much for all the generous people. I always have to say thank you to everybody. Obviously, my boy Shane Bongos, my boy. Without further ado, again, my boy Shane. My boy Lue, and my boy Matthew Wilson. Thank you so much for the generosity. We'll see you all soon. Tomorrow, I hope. Tomorrow. Oh, Nikki Santoro. That's it. Sorry. Bye, everyone. Bye. Am I dead? It's Nikki Santoro. That's right. I can't remember the run. Yeah. Thank you. Peace. Yeah, peace in the Middle East. The King of Kings. Yep. Christ is King. You've seen the Sopranos prequel movie that came out a couple of years ago. It was a part of agenda-driven shit. Oh, yeah. Oh, it was terrible. Yeah. And this Italian gangs. Yeah, it was awful, man. It was so agenda-driven. All the Italians were bad guys. And the poor African-Americans were also innocent. And apparently one of the gangsters, his wife, got smashed by an African-American. And that's why he didn't. Oh, it was the most pathetic filth I'd ever seen, man. It had Tony's real son, right? I think you're right, actually. What? You mean James Gandolfini's son? Yeah, that was a piece of shit. Anyway, guys, peace of the Middle East, right? We out now. Okay, we are ending the stream with an outro.